Well, summer is still upon us, but it's still not too early to prepare for a financially successful 2027. Today, we're going to take a unique look on how to financially prepare for 2027 successfully, as I say, in a unique fashion. Joining me at this time to go right into the details of that, joining me as she often does, is the founder and CFP at Financial Labs, Laura Davis. Laura, good to have you with us.
So good to be here again, Rick.
So, you have a unique way to prepare for 2027 financially. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I know that by the time that your viewers are watching this, we won't even really be into pumpkin spice latte season yet, right? And I think a lot of people think, well, it's way too early to prepare. I'll just set my New Year's resolutions a couple of days before January 1st and go from there. But I am telling you that this trick has worked so well for me and my clients over time is to just prepare a few months early while everybody else is so caught up in the holidays and trying to get through the end of the year. You are going to give yourself the gift of a huge head start when it comes to 2027.
That intuitively, that makes sense. Uh,
Yeah. So I have three tips that I think that your viewers will probably think are a little unusual because on the surface, they don't really have to do with money. So the first one, and this is a theme that you and I have visited before, is to continue to try to hone your sense of connecting your money with your values. And I know a lot of us struggle with this, Rick, because there's so much pressure from outside, and we often are making purchases or spending decisions that don't necessarily line up with the things that we want. They come from all of this outside pressure of what we think that we should have or that someone else told us that we needed. Has that ever happened to you?
well, yeah, and you word it so accurately. That could be a difficult thing to properly communicate, but you said it so well.
Yeah, it's a thing that a lot of us struggle with. We're scrolling through social media, that ad pops up, it looks so cool, it looks like something that you want to have. And yet, if you sit back and think about it for a minute, maybe it actually doesn't get you closer to the life that you want. Maybe it doesn't create a situation where you're closer to the person that you want to be. So I think a really simple way to try to match your money with your values a little bit better is just every time that you're about to make a discretionary purchase. So something that you don't necessarily absolutely need, but something that you kind of want, just sit there and think like, does this match who I want to be, or am I making this decision because of some external pressure that I feel from somewhere else?
And that's what advertisers at the corporate level do is they try and create our values and our image and the pressure to go out and
Uh,
wear
it's
that.
so much pressure. Like, I know you remember this, Rick, and I remember this because I also lived in the 90s, right? Back then, we had a few hundred marketing messages a day that we were dealing with, which sounds like a lot. But today we have thousands every day that come into our brain. There's no way that we can handle all of this, which makes it so much more critical that you figure out who you are, what your value system is, and the goals that you're working towards so that you don't fall into those different traps.
Yeah, yeah. I remember there's a time where they used to say this was I forget the avenue name, but Midtown Manhattan trying to influence our decision making with advertisers.
Right, right. That whole Times Square, there's so many of those screens up all over those different places. And, imagine that we're in Times Square at every moment of every day now.
It's a great analogy.
Right.
Great
So
analogy.
the second thing is, and again, this may not seem to have a whole lot to do with money, but I love a habit of expressing gratitude. So there's lots of different ways to do this, but I think that focusing on the good things in our life really does create an environment where more good things can come in. If we are always focusing on what we don't have, what other people have, what she said to us, in the lunch line today, all of those things that get under our skin, if that's where our brain is always focused, it's really hard for us to create an environment where we can see opportunities, where we can have a life of ease with the people that we love, right? So it could be as simple as just every day writing down one small thing that you're grateful for, keep a gratitude journal. It could be as simple as every night when you're having dinner with your family, go around the table and just say, here's one thing that I'm grateful for. I promise that this is a life changing.
It sounds wonderful. All right, what's point three?
And then the last one is has to do with health, your physical health. So, of course, there's tons of studies that show that the more physically healthy we are, the more mentally healthy we are. And the more mentally healthy we are, the more financially healthy we are. So, another thing that you can do, again, a lot of people wait until January and think, that's when I'm going to start going to the gym. That's when I'm going to start my exercise routine that I put into place. Something that I actually did recently, because confession, I am not great at working out. It's just not that much fun for me. But recently I just put into ChatGPT, hey, these are the couple of things that I'm concerned about. I don't belong to a gym. I only have 30 minutes a day. Can you please create something that is simple that I can do with my own body weight on a mat in my living room that is going to make a difference in my health? And let me tell you, it's only been a couple of months, but I feel so much better. And again, that feeling of being more healthy and more aware of your body being functional, you're going to have more space in your mind to deal with your money. So I know that those are three unusual things. Look at your value system, express gratitude consistently, and make sure that you are as healthy as you can be. And you don't have to buy anything fancy. You don't have to spend money. All you have to do is take a walk, ask ChatGPT what your exercise routine should be and tell Chat that you have nothing to work with, right? There are so many tools available. It's just a matter of making sure that you stay consistent with those things. Well, I appreciate you letting me think outside the box a little bit today, Rick. It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right. Laura Davis, founder of Financial Labs, thank you for joining us. Nothing you need to. Any final comment?
Oh my gosh. Well, as always, just keep your head on straight when it comes to these holidays. I know it's a lot, it's a big deal. And I feel like, to me, I'm such a forward thinker that I already feel like this year is over, So I'm going to take my own advice and try to live a little bit in the moment and enjoy my life for what it is. I'm grateful.
That sounds great. There you have it, folks. Laura Davis at Financial Labs. Back with more after this.